Hey guys, this is Kyle. Today we're going to build up and decorate our own cake. That's going to do for the countdown clock cake. Here's what you're going to need. You need a cake board, has been already wrapped up with aluminum foil. I tape it down on the bottom so it stays well. You're also going to need 4 strips of wax paper that I cut it down right around the cake board. I use only 10-inch round cake board and I put it onto the cake stands so it's easy to frost it up. And you're also going to need 2 prepared pre-baked cake, has to be already round. You can use either the 8-inch or 9-inch. I'm going to use the one with the Baker's Corner classic yellow cake mix. You can use any flavor of the cake mix that you have in your pantry, which is include about the chocolate, the strawberries, the orange one, even of course the red velvet. You can make your own cake from scratch. It is completely up to you. You're also going to need about 14-ounce can of frosting. I'm going to use the Duncan Hines whipped fluffy white frosting, easy to spread. You can also try with chocolate, strawberries, even the cream cheese. You can also make your own frosting from scratch either way. Now I'm going to use the one with the color sugar that I'm going to decorate on top of the cake. I like to use yellow because NYE is going to be much colorful effective. You're also going to need any colors of the decorating gels. The writing tips if you can. I'm going to use the decorating icing, great taste, ready to use for. You can choose any colors you want before going to pipe it on. And I did for the off camera to tempering the chocolate that I use it on a template, put it onto a cookie sheet, tape it down because it's going to be stays well. I put in some wax paper that I drew the number and the arrow, and I refrigerate until the chocolate will harden. All these decorations going to need for later that day. We're going to get started to build up and decorate our own cake. So once I prepare for the cake mix, you're going to allow the cakes to cool. That tells you on the back of the box. And I usually put some parchment paper because that might be easy to releasing from the pan, doesn't get sticking on it. I'm going to trim this cake using with a serrated knife, and we're going to save the rest that you have any leftovers. Alright, so once you trim the dome of the cake that you have, I set for the leftover. Do that for later. We're using for only about the cake truffles or the cake pops. I'm going to take the frosting, get used to it with this can. Now you want to spread the small amount of frosting onto the cake board so the cake will stick in, doesn't get slipped over. And always remember to use those wax paper for 4 strips on top of the cake board. That allows to slide in after frosting. Now you want to take your first cake and you're going to stick it right on the middle of the frosting that goes over the cake board. Okay, make sure to keep it on straight. I'm quite sure you can be able to see it really closer. So you're going to spread those frosting, has been already cut up with the dome of the cake for first. Just want to get that nice crumb coating. Got the first middle of this. Let's get the other cake. I'm going to flip it over, cut side down, right on the first cake. And you can see for the extra crumbs. And we're going to cover up with the rest of the frosting. So you gotta make sure to cover all the cake with more frosting. I gotta scrape it off with a rubber spatula or the cake spatula. Gonna use it with the butter knife. Let's cover all the way. Here we go, all finished covering onto the cake. Now I'm gonna add these numbers that we can go all the way around to the outline. Now what I'm going to do, you're gonna take the chocolate numbers and the arrows. So that goes on a 12. Stick it right through. This 12, and we're going to go for the clockwise. And I'm going to go further on the 6. So 12 is on top, and then 6 goes on the bottom middle. And I'm going to go on the 9. 3 is right over here. Let's go around here for the rest of the numbers. We're almost there about the adding the numbers for clockwise. Let's put the last numbers that sticks onto the frosting. Now we're going to add these arrows. Then we're going to make a countdown. Alright, this might be perfect. This is optional. I like to stick this marshmallows on to the middle of the arrow that I've been cut it in half of the marshmallows that might be too big. And just go right into the middle so that sticks right into through. Now you're going to take up those decorating icing to write down for the gels. You can pick any colors you want. Then you're going to draw it on top of the cake. For a sample, you can draw any patterns that you want to use it with these of the Wilton decorating icing. It is completely up to you that you can go around here to outline for this clock. I like to put the blue onto the middle of the arrow clock. If it's got here, you can use it with the butter knife. You can see that I gently pat it down that we can keep drawing all the way. So I'm going to draw the outline. I'm going to use it with blue. And if there's a little gap, you can go ahead and use it with the butter knife. So you can draw it onto the bottom if you can, doesn't really matter. I'm going to try with these with the blue sprinkles. I like to use these with the piping nozzle. And just going to draw whatever patterns that you can, like I said, so you can evenly dot it right over the numbers. This is I'm using for the smaller piping nozzle. The next color that I'm going to try with pink, either way for the green. You can choose any colors of the decorating gels. It is completely up to you for also. You can go around here for the crossover on the edge, on the bottom, wherever you prefer that. I'm going to give you a close up of the cake. If I could give that a little dot of the pink, I'm going to go right onto the 12. I'm probably sure it's almost there. I'm going to go around onto the green. Has been dot over. Yeah. And you can see the sprinkles got sticks over. Let me use these for this knife. I can sprinkle all the red and blue onto these. The edge of that, you can see that might be hot. You can evenly fling that everyone. I'm gonna see how it goes with. Here we go. This is what it looks like. I sprinkle up the red and blue sprinkles, or actually for the color sugar, right around for the edge of the cake. It might be hard to can see it that I kept sprinkle over the cake stand so heavier. And look at the clockwise that I've been dotted one by one each color. Hopefully it's going to be having a party for the NYE, which stands for the New Year's Eve. And you have a finished build and decorator of those countdown clock cake. If you're interested for more baking, write down in comments below if you want to see something. Make sure to view all videos you watch before sharing. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up for everyone. As always, Happy New Year! Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to Worldwide Campus News and Entertainment. Then ring the bell to see all notifications about the new videos and the latest video.